Everyone, remain calm.
Yeah, that's how it always starts. But then later there's running and screaming.
Somebody talk to me! What is happening?
Welcome to Jurassic World.
You're listening to the Jurassic Park Podcast.
You want to consult here or in my bungalow? Hold on to your butts.
Well, we're back.
Hello, and welcome to the 113th episode of the Jurassic Park Podcast. I'm your host, Brad Jost, and we're here to discuss all things Jurassic Park. In this episode, we've got the second volume of Jaye and Ted's Jurassic Adventures. It's a pretty long segment full of tangents, but also some great discussion on their top 5 favorite items in their collections. Now, sit back, relax, and go through your toy collections along with these two dudes. It's a great segment, so share it, tell your friends, and let them know how much you love it and how much you love your toys. So, if you didn't get to listen yet, check the feed again. We posted a special update episode early last week with our thoughts on the trailer release for Jurassic World Evolution. In that episode, we break down the trailer, give our thoughts, and try to predict some of the features throughout the game. If you guys are excited about that game, don't miss that episode. You can tell we were super excited about it, so check it out. But anyway, since that's all we have for you this week, let's head off into a bit of collecting nostalgia with Jaye and Ted's Jurassic Adventures.
Who in God's name do you think you are?
You shouldn't use my name.
Dr. Malcolm. He had Sheffield campfire stories with my uncle.
No way!
You will remember to wash your hands before you eat anything.
No, not yet. I'll give you something extra if you make it a good trip.
Ted, I have a feeling we're about to embark upon a most unprecedented expedition.
Hey, Jurassic fans. It's been a while, but here is another episode of the Bearded Brothers, Jaye and Ted's Jurassic Adventures. How are you doing, Ted?
I'm fantastic. How about yourself?
Pretty good, pretty good. So, it's been a bit since we did a recording for these episodes. What have you been up to, man?
Oh, just adulting. It's tough. Bringing my kid to school, painting dinosaurs, messing around on Instagram. So,
yeah, dude, you painted some really cool ones. Tell us about the Thrasher and that Brachiosaur you've done.
I've been doing I did the Brachiosaur video on my YouTube channel. I've been doing the Thrasher repaint video on my YouTube channel, but I've been doing longer videos and trying to show people and kind of explain what I do. So that's been taking up like 2 weeks of my time, just sitting there, like hours and hours of footage trying to like talk what I'm really terrible at speaking. I'm on a podcast, but I'm really terrible at it. So it's like when I'm painting and I'm trying to describe what I'm doing, I'm just terrible at it. And I like trying to get like the intro of the video down and and I'm like take after take. I'm like, I can't even talk. I don't even know what's happening. That's why it was so much easier when I just did my time-lapse videos with music. I didn't have to speak. So.
Yeah, Ted, we're not supposed to let the listeners know that we are not good at speaking.
they already know, trust me. They're 3 episodes in, they know I'm not good at speaking.
Oh, yeah, they know that we are all over the place, very unprofessional. Every time we try to do an episode, something goes wrong. It's Jurassic Park, really.
It is.
There's always a Nedry in our midst. Yeah. Somewhere, and it's called our computers. That's cool, man. Yeah, if you guys get a chance, well, most of you guys already know who Ted Brothers is, and you probably check out his page all the time. Dude, it's awesome what he did with the Horizon Kit Brachiosaurus and what he did with that Thrasher. Dude, sick.
It's good
stuff. Love it.
Stuff.
Yeah, really cool stuff. And as for me, I've just been tattooing a lot.
Yeah, I've seen some of the artwork. It's looking good.
Yeah, that's taken up a lot of my time. Just tattooing, getting stuff out there, trying to get better and better so I can start tattooing dinosaurs on people.
Yeah, I'm gonna make my way up to your neck of the woods, and like I said before in I think the first podcast, I'm gonna get you to tattoo the Site B logo right on my leg. That's what I want. I want to be marked by Jay.
Definitely, will happen, man. Will happen. So, before we get into any like crazy tangents how we usually do anyway, it's gonna happen. Yeah. It's gonna happen this episode, so you guys are already prepared. This is third episode. You guys are already 2 episodes in.
Yeah, they already know what we do. So
actually, wouldn't this be technically the second episode? Because the first one was a prequel.
Yeah, I guess that was our Phantom Menace episode, and then this is like our second official episode. So yeah.
Whatever. It says episode 3 on it. There's a missing mystery episode that never happened. It's episode 2.
That's the director's cut. They'll get that later.
They'll get that someday. All right. So on this episode, what are we going to be talking about, Ted?
Well, my friend, we are going to be going through our top 5 JP items in our collection. Items that we have that are near and dear to us, and that we are really kind of just like inspirational to our collection and just who we are as JP community members, and things that just mean a lot to us in our collection. So we narrowed it down to 5 a piece, and that was really difficult to do because I'm going through my shelves downstairs and I'm like, oh, I like this, I like that, I like this, and so it was really difficult to just get 5, but I managed to do it. And I will have 5 items and then 1 honorable mention at the end of my 5. So
nice.
But yeah, so that's what we're going to be going through. So
yeah, it was tough too because I'm like, we can't help but know that we might like repeat what like other top 5 podcasts and whatnot have done.
Yeah.
Because I mean, there is a lot of merchandise, but there's just stuff that from the library of merchandise of Jurassic Park that just we all love so much. So I don't know. Do you want to start it up or?
Well, and I'll be curious to see if any of mine are on your list. I don't know if they will be. So
yeah, that's true. That's true. I try to really think. I was like, what can I say that probably Ted won't say, so we don't like repeat ourselves.
Well, my first one is out there. It's out there in right field. I don't know if it'll be on your list, but yeah. So
you know what? Yeah, let's start with you. Let's
all right. See. So my number 1 pick, and this is.
Would this be number 1 or like number 5 out of the 5 top?
This would be probably the thing that started it all. So it's my number 1.
Oh, so this is the really important
led
one.
into my complete obsession with Jurassic Park. So my first pick is the original Jurassic Park on VHS. And
that's not on my list. Nice. That's a good one.
Everybody would go straight to Blu-ray, but not me. I'm old school. I went Jurassic Park on VHS, the first copy. This is actually the original copy that I have, and it doesn't work anymore, but I've kept it all these years. My mom had it in a box in her attic, and I found it, and it's all moldy and gross. But this, man, because I never saw Jurassic Park in theaters as a kid. It was too scary. My parents wouldn't let me see it, so I had to watch it on VHS after that was released on VHS. And so I remember watching it at a friend's house, and he had a big surround sound system, everything like that, and his parents let us watch it. And I absolutely fell in love with it, So then my parents eventually got me a copy of it. And funny about it is that I think the reason that I can quote this so much, and it drives my wife crazy because she can't watch it with me because I just will quote it.
I know that feeling.
Yeah. When we used to go on family road trips to either Florida to go visit my grandparents or to New York to go visit my relatives up there, I took a little cassette recorder with a microphone, and I put the VHS in the VCR, played it on the TV, and put the microphone next to the speaker on the TV, and I recorded all the audio on this little cassette tape. And so what I would do on these road trips is I would just listen to Jurassic Park. And so it was without the being able to see it, and so I just would like absorb what they were saying. And even at home, I'd get up in my treehouse, I'd put my headphones on, and I'd listen to Jurassic Park in my treehouse, and I'd listen to it at night in bed, put headphones on, listen to it. So it was like complete obsession with it. But I think that's why I can quote it so well, is because I would listen to the audio for hours on the road with my parents going to visit family members and stuff like that. And I believe that the VHS is what started it all for me, being obsessed with Jurassic Park. So that would be my first number 1 pick. And you haven't watched Jurassic Park yet, kids. If you haven't watched it on VHS yet, you haven't watched Jurassic Park.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Grainy. It's almost like like another movie that I love to watch on VHS as a kid. I haven't watched it in a long time, but it's the Ninja Turtles movie, the original.
Oh yes.
because it was like that grainy, like that before it would play, and then it had that Pizza Hut commercial with the kids playing baseball, and it was just, I mean, I just love that old nostalgic kind of like look to it. It's just so crappy and grainy. I love it. So yeah, that's my first pick, the Jurassic Park on VHS. So
that's a good one. Yeah. That's a really good one.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's, guys, right there. What you heard with Ted recording. That's a true fan. Yeah. That's awesome.
Little 8-year-old
I remember. What's up?
So those little 8-year-old Ted.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. I didn't have like a recording device, but I remember what I used to bring around with me all the time. I always had like one dinosaur book, the Eyewitness book, and one of the Jurassic Park books. It was like the Dinosaurs of Jurassic Park. It was like this little Scholastic.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Paperback book.
Yep.
That I would have always with me. That one and that in the dinosaur book. Everywhere I went, I brought my little book bag with me, and it had that always with it. But that recording, I didn't think of that as a kid. I should have done that. Yeah, but I do have that same problem where if I watch Jurassic Park with someone, they hate me because I am reciting every line, and I'm like, I can't help it. I'm sorry.
I'll be in the kitchen making dinner, and I'll put it on the TV. And like I'll just be sitting there like quoting it like under my breath, and my wife hears me. She's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "She's like, you watch this movie way too much." And I'm like, "She's like, you're not even watching it." I'm like, "I don't need to watch it, babe. It's ingrained in my mind. Like I can see it."
Yeah. Isn't it crazy? Like let's put it. Let's give you. Oh, right. When you have the movie playing, right?
Yeah.
And you walk out of the room. Isn't it crazy? You have it so well timed in your mind that when you walk back in the room, you know exactly what scene. You go right into it.
You're right at the pace too, like what they're saying. You're at the exact pace. Yeah.
I'll leave my room and I'm playing the movie, and I'll go to my my art room that I got to do paint and whatever. And as I'm walking back, I'm already reciting the lines of the character that should be talking at that moment.
Yeah.
And as I walk in, I'm right there in tune.
Yeah,
with the person talking, it's
crazy.
You watched it that much. I'm with that. I'm like that with Jurassic Park and Lost World.
Yeah.
Both those movies. Like Jurassic Park 3, no, there's some parts here.
No,
and there.
I mean, by the time that came out, I mean, I think that it was on VHS. I have the VHS of that, but I didn't watch that enough to like memorize. I mean, I've seen it enough now over the past, however many years it's been out, that I mean, I know the lines in it, but I don't know them as well as I do the Lost World or Jurassic Park. So yeah,
yeah, I get the same thing. And I will have to say, like watching like the VHS, if you like you said, if you guys out there are big Jurassic Park fans, and you love Jurassic Park, I would suggest going back and actually watching the VHS. Just you can get a VHS anywhere, or your grandpa might have one. Somewhere, and just watching that grainy version of it. And on the Lost World, there's a little tidbit before it where they have this Mercedes commercial that you never see anywhere else.
Yeah.
And they have it on the Lost World, and I talked about it in an older podcast, and it has like that song like and then all of a sudden as the commercial like ends, the Lost World begins. It's crazy. But yeah, that was a good choice, man. I was not that was not on my list.
Well, speaking of your list, this brings you to your first pick, so go ahead.
So since you said the one that started it all for you, I don't exactly have that one on my list. The dinosaur that started it out for me, or like the object or merchandise from Jurassic Park that started it for me. But there is a dinosaur that I got relatively, like, I think it was probably my third Jurassic Park purchase, and I don't think till this day anyone's been able to make a better dinosaur toy or not statue, there's good statues, but like toy wise, the Triceratops, the big Triceratops from Jurassic Park Kenner line. That Triceratops is incredible. The skin feel, the size of the Triceratops compared to the other dinosaurs. You go into the other line of like Jurassic Park toys, and they never replicated or made a bigger Triceratops. It's always like small.
Yeah.
But that one, the color, the way the sculpt of the head, the way the feet are like placed, it is Jurassic Park. It is, you lay that Triceratops down, and it's that scene in the movie. It's incredible how well they sculpted that toy. Kenner was just amazing.
Yeah, and with it not, I mean, like it didn't have to have a whole lot of articulation either to be awesome. I mean, it was a big rubber stuffed animal, pretty much, you know, with the head ramming action and the dino damage piece. But other than that, I mean, the legs didn't move or the tail didn't. There was no like crazy, wacky, gimmicky kind of like joints or anything like that. I mean, it was basic, but like it was so good and how basic that it was amazing piece. I mean, I think I have like 4 of them. Downstairs. Yeah,
I only have 2.
Yeah, I have 4 of them, and I only got the other 2. They were in a lot on eBay, and I went for them, and so I have 2 dino damage pieces and 2 without dino damage pieces. So I'm trying to figure out how to make new dino damage pieces for them and then color match them.
We talked about this. Yeah,
I've been down in the old lab downstairs trying to figure that out. So we'll see.
InGen lab.
Yeah.
the lab where the experiments go wrong. Watch out, man. One day you're going to see a raptor just staring at you from the other side of like one of those like containers.
Awesome.
Yeah, that dinosaur, like exactly like you said, it didn't need all that articulation and whatnot. It was just such a great toy.
Yep.
And I remember that I would just like to make him look like he was running. I would kind of like gallop him or whatever, like grab like the mid part of the Triceratops and just kind of like his legs were hard plastic, so if you put him on a table and you hit like the front 2 legs and then the back 2 legs, it makes like a galloping sound.
Yeah.
So it's like yeah, and I used to do that like when it was like charging against the car and then just smash the hell out of the one Jeep.
Yeah, it was like in the toy commercial for the Bush Devil Tracker. It featured the Triceratops and the young T-Rex, and they were smashing the Jeep with the Triceratops, the head ramming action. So
yeah, because the big red Rex hadn't come out yet. It was still like it was on the back. It wasn't even on the back of your car. Yeah, because they had like the Stan Winston model. So what had come out was like the Dilophosaur, the regular Raptor. The young T-Rex, and then the Triceratops. And I remember I got the Triceratops and the young T-Rex almost relatively in the same week.
Oh, wow.
But the Triceratops, when I got it, and it was like, it's awesome until this day. Like, I have not seen a toy that's been able to beat out that Triceratops.
It's perfect. I mean, it really is.
Yeah, like there's really cool T-Rexes I've seen, toys and whatnot. Like, still Red Rex will always be my favorite, but that Triceratops is just amazing. It's legit.
Do you have any of them in the box?
I wish I did.
Yeah, me too.
Don't. Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, it's like the memories attached to that Triceratops. Because I have 2. I have one that's like relatively new, like the paint job looks like untouched, and then the other one that I've had since I was a kid, the mechanism in its neck is like a little bit snapping. Like whenever I press it, it makes like a snap sounds like.
Oh yeah.
Whatever, and like you can see like the springs in there a little rusty and whatnot. But all on its skin, there's like its skin is like sun bleached or something because of me playing outside so much with him. And I'd play him right in the dirt, man.
Oh yeah.
Just make that dirt like pick up and whatnot. So it's like stamping like rhinos do in Africa.
And you could too, because it was such a hardy toy that you could. I mean, the ones that I have, obviously, like they probably were played with because you can see the marks on the horns and stuff like that. But I mean, how long has it been? 25 years? Is that how long it's been? So 25 years, and they're still like head ramming action works, and stuff like that. Come to me in 25 years from now and show me a Jurassic World toy that's still in good condition, that's been played with by a kid. I mean, they're so flimsy.
Yeah, my Stomp and Strike T-Rex, that thing won't stop roaring now.
That thing.
It's done. It's like it's completely destroyed already. And I haven't even touched it. It's been on my shelf the entire time from the moment I bought it.
My 4-year-old daughter Lex, she won't even play with it. Like she's like, I want the big red one, or she wants like the Thrasher or something like that. She doesn't even want the Jurassic World Stomp and Strike T-Rex. She's like, it doesn't stand up and it looks dumb.
Yeah,
So.
I really hope Mattel really does some good stuff.
Yeah, me too. What I can't wait for is our podcast when Mattel does release their stuff, and you and me can do a podcast on all the new lines once they start releasing images. That's going to be fun because then we get to be all Judgy McJudgerson, and we get to see what they're doing.
Oh yeah, we could probably even do maybe like a video Skype and record it or something like that, and then we'll just put it on YouTube.
Yeah,
we'll make a podcast version of it, and then post a YouTube one, like you know how Brad will post up the podcasts in like YouTube form, but it can be like a video one.
That'd be
so
cool.
People can watch how us like debating these toys.
They can see our beards.
Yes.
Look at our
beards unite.
Food stuck in it. All right, so
your second one.
My second one. We're still gonna get off on a tangent because my second one is an action figure from the Jurassic Park line. So.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're gonna continue this. My second pick is also in correlation of me having my first one, and so the JP VHS. Because I got that and I was so in love with the movie that I ended up getting the Alan Grant action figure. And I still have my original one, and I'm holding him now, and he's all wobbly and yellowed, and like his shirt looks like it's all ripped on the arms and everything. He's just terrible looking. I mean, I put him through just everything, dirt and just all elements. This little guy got put through it, but it was such an awesome toy I had when I was a kid. I remember my grandmother got it for me, and my parents were like, he doesn't need any new toys. And she still got me this for Christmas. And I mean, I've had it for 25 years. And I think if I had to take one item out of my entire collection, I've got a lot of cool stuff, but I think this Grant is the most like sentimental to me. And I cherish this thing, even though it's beat to death. And I mean, I've got a new one downstairs with, all the capture gear, or the backpack and the pterodactyl and net and everything like that. But the little beat up one, man, I love this thing so much because it just reminds me of being a kid. And like, I didn't have a lot of Jurassic Park dinosaurs before the Lost World came out. I had a bunch of the Lost World stuff, but I didn't have any of the Jurassic Park dinosaurs. So I made do with using dinosaurs from other lines like Dino Riders and McDonald's dinosaur toys and like different types of toys that you'd find at thrift stores, or just had them on hand as just from being a kid. And so it's like I didn't need the Jurassic Park dinosaurs in order to play Jurassic Park as a little kid, but it's like having the figures, like it really, I don't know, it made it like I didn't care that I didn't have the dinosaurs. As long as I had my Dr. Grant, you could still play Jurassic Park. It's like the command compound is so cool, but you don't need the command compound to play Jurassic Park. You can just go out in the backyard in the woods, with your figures and your dinosaurs and play all day long, So this is by far my most favorite piece out of my collection from Jurassic Park stuff that I have. So.
Alan Grant is definitely
he's
that.
Every man. You can. I mean, I remember playing with Alan Grant, not even with Jurassic Park, but like with my Kenner Predators and Aliens. Like he was always in the woods hunting aliens or predators, and like he was the dude for everything. He was the everyman. So.
Yeah, I remember as well. Like when I was a kid, I had a good amount of Jurassic Park merchandise, but like I didn't have all of that. It was more Lost World that I got a lot more stuff.
Yeah, same here.
But yeah, Alan Grant was just like that card that he came with him with the little baby pteranodons.
Yeah,
it's so cool. And when I got the figures, just like you, I didn't get to see the movie in theaters either. Yeah. I got to see it in VHS like a year and a half later because that's what happened back in the day. You didn't get movies like 2 months later like we do now. Everybody's lucky now.
Kids these days have it so good.
They do. They really do.
Get off my lawn.
Yeah, back then we didn't get to see a movie like that for a long time. And like how like now like pirate movies or whatever, the way we might see a pirated movie back in the day was like one of those like presentation ones they would give to like studios.
Yeah.
Remember that you would see on the bottom said this is not a movie to be bought.
Yeah.
This is a movie, blah blah. And like I remember a teacher had that one time in a classroom. She showed us this movie. Like it was in theaters. not too long ago, and then like she showed us the video. I think it was like Robin Williams' Jack.
Yep.
Yeah, and it like said on the bottom, and I don't know where she got it from, but you know what I mean. It wasn't on video yet, and that was our like easy access to movies. You still had to get a VHS to watch it, you know. You know, like it's easier now, and now like the DVDs and Blu-rays come out like 2 months after the movie came out. Like I think Logan's already been on Blu-ray and DVD for a while now.
Yeah.
And it came out what, like May?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yep. So I didn't know who Alan Grant was.
Yeah.
When I got the figure as well, I didn't know who Alan. I remember getting Alan Grant and Muldoon first.
Yeah.
And my brothers got Nedry and stuff like that, but I ended up playing with them anyway because they weren't really into Jurassic Park as much as I was.
Yeah.
But I thought at first like Alan Grant, like he had all those Pteranodons. The first time I had him, I thought he was a Pteranodon trainer.
He looks like it.
So I would use my Kenner Batman like Batwing. And I would place Alan Grant in there, and I'd fly with like this, with like that Kenner Pteranodon that has the flappy wings, right? And the baby.
Yeah.
And I would like be the guy teaching him how to fly, you know, teaching the Pteranodons. This is how you fly. Like that movie with the guy from Dumb and Dumber. I can't remember something. Daniels.
Jeff Daniels. Yeah.
Yeah, that he teaches geese how to fly. Like this is an old '90s movie. Do you remember this?
Oh, Fly Away Home, right?
Yes.
Wasn't it with Anna Paquin?
Yes.
Yeah. What a cheeseball movie, man.
That is an old movie. Like, I'm betting a lot of people don't know what we're talking about right now.
I was thinking, too, tangent of when you mentioned Robin Williams' Jack. Didn't you just mention that earlier?
Yeah.
Yeah, that... The other night I was watching The Lost World, and the bus that crashes through a Blockbuster, and there's a big advertising poster board for, I think, Robin Williams' Jack in the Blockbuster.
Yep, there is.
Oh my gosh, Blockbuster.
Uh-huh.
That's crazy.
Yeah, oh, I love that scene, by the way. But yeah, dude, it's that I had seen that movie, or like later on, I don't remember, but something influenced me. Maybe there were maybe a class, something had influenced me of like people teaching birds that are imprinted.
Yeah.
What how to fly with planes, or like I remember that there was the big California Condor project going on around the early 90s, 91, 92 and stuff like that, and we had read about it in school. So like stuff like that, I guess, had influenced my little kid mind.
Yeah.
And I would have the Batwing, put Alan Grant in it, and just fly around my basement and have like the Pteranodon in my other hand, and like, this is the way to go. This is how you fly.
Jurassic.
I thought he was a Pteranodon trainer. But no, he wasn't. And you find out how wrong you really are.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess I'll go to my
26 minutes. All right, go. So this is your next pick, right? Your number 2.
Mm-hmm.
All right, go ahead.
My number 2 would be the stationery and like
school supplies,
like the stamps, and the like pencil sharpeners that had Crash's work on them.
Oh yeah.
Fully rendered and colored. You know what I mean? I have one stamp from that time, but like I had all that stuff and I lost it over time, you know, because I actually used them for school. You know, I didn't think like down the line, years later, when I'm 30 years old, that I'd be like a collector or something.
Right.
Back then, I'm like, I'm gonna use this stuff at school and be the coolest kid there. You know, but yeah, all that wonderful, beautiful art of like Crash's work on there, and like fully colored, because most of the time you'd see this stuff in black and white, but there's like I have one of them with me, and it has the Raptor, and it's all like watercolored and looks gorgeous, and at the same time it was puffy. It was weird. It was like this little like it wasn't like hard plastic on there. It was like it's this material you can kind of, it's like a little mini pillow or something on there, you know. Yeah, that's Did you have any of that stuff?
I don't think I had any of the stationary stuff. I want to say I maybe had a set of the puffy stickers that I got like in a stocking for Christmas, but it's been so long I cannot remember if I had any of that. The one thing I do think is really cool is the do you have the lunchbox with the thermos that says like biohazard on it?
That's funny because that's another one on my list.
Oh, is it? Oh, sorry, I'm stepping on your list.
That's all good.
I saw that because the Rad Years podcast did an episode of Jurassic Park stuff like a while back, and they were talking about it, and they posted a picture of it, and it's been so long since I had seen it, and I was like, oh my gosh, can you imagine being a kid in 2017 going into school with a cup that says like biohazard, don't open? Oh my gosh, man. They would concussion grenade you, man. That would not fly today. The 90s. The 90s were a great time. You could bring ectoplasm, slime, biohazard containers.
Yeah, they didn't care. They're like, oh, they'll just go and next to you and be like, oh, that's cute. Biohazard. That's awesome.
I remember like the 90s was a big time for like toxic-y slime stuff. You remember Toxic Crusaders or the Toxic Avenger or whatever that cartoon was, where the dude was like his eyes hanging out, and it's like he's just like a big pile of toxic mutation wearing like a little ballerina tutu and has the mop, and like.
Yeah, the creators are from Jersey.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I met them at one of the horror cons or whatever.
Oh, nice.
And they're still doing stuff, man.
I remember because I used to watch the cartoon, and I had some of the figures because I was a big like Ninja Turtles Playmates kid back then. I had all that stuff, and they sized up great with the Turtle universe, and so I had a bunch of the Toxic Avengers or Toxic Crusade. I can't remember because the movie is different from the cartoon, and I found that out. Like the movie's got just like obscenities and just like major adult content in the movie, and my parents thought, oh, this movie's going to be just like the cartoon, and here like little 5-year-old Ted's watching the Toxic Avenger movie, and it was pretty bad.
It has all those like Jason and Freddy movie tropes, where there's a couple and they're doing adult things, and you're a kid and you're like, what? Wait a second, this is nothing like the cartoon. What's going on there? Yeah, their films are very adult. Yeah. When we were at the HorrorCon, they had these models there and whatnot, and they had all these movies playing in the background. Like, man, these aren't really horror movies. These are something else.
Yeah. A lot of that stuff back then, though, like the Predator, the Counter Predator line, like that was based off a pretty graphic, violent movie, and like here I am, like little kid Ted watching the Predator, and it's like, oh my gosh, and then Predator 2.
Yeah, that one scene where like the Predators in Predator 2, when they enter that one like apartment or like flat or whatever, and there's just bodies like skinned alive there. I saw that movie with my dad.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, he saw that one scene and he was like, I oh my god, it's crazy. I'm remembering this right now. We were watching that movie because I really wanted to see, and he was really into like action movies and he loved like action. Did you just hear that?
No, what was it? Is it the power trying to come back on?
I had a call come in and somehow it like came onto my computer. It's still going right now. I have to edit this out.
Oh.
Why is it doing this?
I don't hear anything.
Yeah. Cause I had my yeah, I have to edit this out. Yeah, I have my phone. I have a phone line that's connected into my computer, and I left my email on in the background, and it just like it blared into my headphones right now. It was like dun 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 dun. Oh, and I'm like, what is that? I thought it was like Zencaster saying, "Hey, you guys are recording too long." You know what? I'm gonna leave some of this in because this is actually funny.
Deleted.
Man, so it's not your phone blaring in this time, it's mine.
It feels so good to win one.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave some of this in here. This is funny. This is good good commentary.
That's how professional we are. We're too lazy to even edit this. 2 minutes of us just like, did you hear that? No, did you hear that?
I'm just gonna send this. Brad, don't even listen to it. Just
Brad's
put it on the podcast.
You new guys to do this. Oh god.
What was I saying? Oh, so my dad was a big fan of like action heroes from the 90s. He loved Schwarzenegger. He loved Van Damme.
Steven Seagal, or were you a big
yeah,
Seagal
all those
fan?
dudes, all those action guys. You know, he loved those movies, and he loved like you remember American Ninja?
Yes.
Yeah, he loved American Ninja, and like he loved American Ninja 2 is my favorite, and it's so cheesy, it's so bad, but it's one of my favorite movies of all time. This is from like when I used to watch them with my dad, and like so my dad we were with him, me and my little sister. And my little sister, he put on some cartoons for her, and he's like, we'll watch the big kids movie, you know, the big guys movie. And I'm like, all right, cool. And I was like, I don't know, I can't remember. I was maybe like 5-6 years old or something.
Yeah.
And then he puts on, he's like, I got this from Blockbuster, since we were talking about Blockbuster. Puts that in, it's Predator. And it's Predator 2. And he's like, oh, this just came out on video. This long ago this was. And like we're watching it, and they go, and it's like that first, it's not really that much into the movie that you see that scene. And he was like, oh man, yeah, we can't watch this.
Yeah.
And I was like, we watched ninjas getting like sliced in half and whatever. We ended up watching it anyway, but he told me, he's like, if you get scared in these moments, let me know. I'll take out the video or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he's like, don't tell your mom that, you know, making you watch all these like crazy videos, but whatever. I loved it. I thought it was awesome, you know?
Yeah. I used to watch violent movies with my dad. My mom hated it. I think it's just kind of a thing that we did in the 90s.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Like I find
now
myself
it's like,
as a parent now, I'm sitting there, we're watching like Game of Thrones, and my 4-year-old's sitting there with us, you know? And like Game of Thrones can be pretty intense sometimes with some stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And so I was like, babe, so maybe we should watch Game of Thrones like when she's at school or something, and not watching it at night right before she goes to bed. Or Breaking Bad. I'm like, oh, we've got to check what we're watching. I turned out okay, but you know,
all of us 90s turned out okay. 90s kids turned out okay, but we're still a little messed up there.
Yes, we are. That's what makes us so awesome.
It's all that slime and gack from the old days.
Yeah.
There's something in that.
Probably.
All right, so
this is my next pick, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So I think I'm on my third pick. I'm looking at my notes. I'm being professional. So my third pick, I'm going to be moving from Jurassic Park, and we're going to be going into the Lost World for my last three. So my number 3 here, let's see. So this is the one that I wanted to get to have it for the episode, but I could not get it in time, and so I'm going to have to use the screen cap pictures that I have on my phone. So my third pick is, aside from the Lost World film, which I saw in theaters, really creating my obsession with Jurassic Park even more, and just that sequel in general, is I remember getting at Ingles, which is a grocery store down here in Georgia. I don't know if you guys have them up north, but I got the Lost World souvenir magazine. And I got that the same day or the same week, I think, that I got my pick after this. But the Lost World magazine, the souvenir magazine, I tore that thing apart, man. I would read that thing every day. I mean, like, dog era, I'd tear pictures out and put them on my wall, and I just remember it had so much cool stuff in it. You know, the cover with the big female T-Rex head coming through it. On the back, it had the another picture of the T-Rex that's on the action figure boxes and stuff, and it said something has survived. Trading cards, the Topps trading cards, and then just a few of the pictures inside. You know, they had that big centerfold of the T-Rexes with the baby T-Rex, and then the Raptors jumping out of the jungle. Just a big centerfold of that, which was just so awesome. I remember taking that out and putting it on my wall with all my other Jurassic Park stuff that I had kind of collected by then. And then it had an entire section on the toys. Mm-hmm. And it had the bull T-Rex, like a big centerfold of the bull T-Rex. And I think it had some pictures of like Hasbro at the time, I think, because Hasbro took over Kenner. So Hasbro in their like development department, like making and sculpting all the figures and stuff like that, and like little behind the scenes look at all the toys and everything. And I just remember drooling over the action figures and stuff, and like wanting them, like all of them, and sadly not being able to get all of them until a few years later. But that magazine, man, I was obsessed with that magazine, and like all the character bios they had and all the little stories about the paleontologists and stuff in there. It was such an awesome magazine. And I have the Jurassic Park one, the souvenir magazine, but I really want to get this one, and I found it on eBay, but if I ordered it, it wouldn't have been here in time for us to do this podcast. So I just cheated a little bit and used my phone. So, but yeah, I love that magazine, man. It was so cool. Tore it apart. That's why it doesn't exist anymore. So
yeah, I have both.
Do you?
I have I got you saying, and it makes me want to just bring it out right now and look at it, because I loved it. I didn't have it back then. I actually got it in recent years, maybe 4 years back. And when I got it, I was like, wow, this is amazing. And like just looking at those like prototype toys, the big like 2-page of the Bull Rex, and then always at the end around the Lost World time is that Jurassic Park Club.
Yeah,
and we've asked this before, like, but nobody seems to have ever been part of that club.
Yeah. Technically, aren't we all really a part of that club, though? Like, we're unofficial members of the Jurassic Park Club. I mean, we're doing a podcast based on Jurassic Park.
They should make a new one, or like with Universal. Universal should start one up.
Yeah, bunch of mid 30-year-olds.
A bunch of 30-year-olds.
30-year-olds in the Jurassic Park Club. I'm just kidding. There's young Jurassic Park fans. I apologize.
Yeah, they should make like two all of us unite.
Yeah.
And talk Jurassic Park dinosaurs. So let's see.
So yeah, your next pick would be your third pick.
I would say let's put it this way. It would have been the Lunchbox.
Okay.
But we've talked about that. But this one here, I know we all have.
Okay.
Well, most of us. And if not most of us have the whole set, you might have a couple of these. The Topps cards.
Oh yeah.
Those are awesome. They're like one of the best things that come out of like the merchandise.
Yeah.
There's so many. There's the gold set. There's like the hologram ones.
Yeah.
There's the Series 1. There's the Series 2. And recently, I didn't even know that they existed. There's supposedly Jurassic Park 3 Topps cards.
Really?
Yep. Huh. I saw a really savage one on Facebook that it showed Alan Grant, and it was like it was a really savage card. It was Alan Grant's face. It was like Dr. Alan Grant card or whatever, and you flip it around and it showed like his face, and it was all like his face didn't look too happy, and it said like on the top of it, friend zone or something, when he got friend zoned by Ellie Sattler.
No,
dude, it is a savage card. I might be wrong, like how I'm inferring it. I can't remember too well, but I'm pretty sure it like I remember seeing the comments on that post, and it was like up to like 400 something comments, and people just like, wow, dude, the Jurassic Park 3 was so messed up to Alan Grant.
Yeah, I remember
those cards. Whoever made those cards for Jurassic Park 3 they were mean.
Yeah, that's too much hate for my beloved Grant. Shame on that.
Yeah, man, I gotta find it. If I find it, I'm gonna send it to Brad to post it when he posts you know what? I'm gonna find it, and when we have this episode posted up on Instagram, it's gonna be like the card for the episode.
Yeah, definitely. Friend zone Grant.
Yeah, but those cards are so cool because they had like dinosaur facts, they had the characters, they had vehicles, they had
Crash's drawings and stuff.
Oh, those were my favorite. I love those ones that had each card like the Brachiosaurus, the T-Rex, and it would show like a little like factoid about Crash and his work or whatever happened. That's awesome, dude. Like those cards are so great. I don't think they made Lost World ones though.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think. I mean, they might have. I haven't seen any. So
I know they made like playing cards for Lost World.
yeah.
And they were like they were weird. They came in the. I always thought it was like a bootleg at first, but actually it is a merchandise from Lost World. I got them from Kmart when I was a kid. I don't have them anymore.
Yeah.
My sister actually messed them all up. She threw like she was little, whatever. She threw nail polish, like glitter nail polish all over them. And I still used them, but like they were all glittery on the back. Had like a T-Rex with sparkles.
Nice. I was just checking eBay real quick, and they actually did have Lost World Jurassic Park trading cards by Topps.
Did they?
They did. You can get a single pack for like $3.50, or you can get an entire sealed box for $67.99 plus $13.25 shipping. So yeah.
Do they have like open pictures of them?
I'm trying to see here. This one looks. They look like they're sealed. All the ones that
you're
look like
right.
they're sealed.
I'm seeing them too.
Yeah.
I don't see. Oh, there they are.
Oh, they opened. We're eBay searching during our podcast. This is entertainment for our listeners. Listen to us search on eBay.
I'm sending you the link right now. There.
All right, cool. Oh yeah.
See 'em?
I'm afraid to click on it; it'll close the screen out or something. No, my luck. I haven't messed up very at all on this podcast.
I know I'm the one that messed up.
I'm afraid to touch my computer.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know they had them.
Yeah.
Oh man, I shouldn't have even asked. Now the hunt has begun.
My bad. They're not too expensive. You can get like one of them for like $4 or $5. I have a couple. I have a couple of the Jurassic
I know I'm gonna
Park
go
ones,
for the box. I'm already looking at the box.
Not if I get to it first. Just kidding. My wife will kill me.
I can't afford anything of this right now. Like as soon as I start doing some crazy dinosaur tattoos, then yeah, definitely. But at the moment, nah. I'm right now like keeping calm with the collecting. Not really doing much.
You mean you don't want a mint in box Ajay for $100? Woo, that guy.
No, I got him. I have him, but I don't have his weapon or his dinosaur. I just have.
Dude, you got to get the Congo Monroe. You have to get a Congo Monroe for like $10.
Right.
He has the same gear as Ajay. That's what I did.
That's what I'm gonna do. And then you turn the Monroe into like Samuel Jackson's character.
You can either do Monroe as that guy or the dude who gets eaten by the Velociraptor in the Lost World, like when they go into the long grass.
Oh yeah, he's perfect for it.
And he's got the flashlight. Yeah.
Should give him a name too. What would be his name? We have to give him a Jurassic Park Kennerline name like Jaws Jackson. We have to give him something.
Savage Sam.
Savage Sam. Savage Sam. Oh, we got to make that action figure.
You're going to quickly see all the Monroes on eBay, the price skyrocket.
Because of Savage Sam.
Because of Savage Sam, everyone's going to want him.
Mm-hmm. He's not a Velociraptor expert.
Yeah. He just walks around with a flashlight. What are you doing?
He's the lantern holder.
Yeah. He has no gun. Where's your gun? Ajay's like, don't go in the long grass. And he's like, whatever. I got the flashlight. I'm cool. I can see. And then it's like, nope. And you're dead.
Yeah, he's the lighting expert. He's the one to set up all the lights in the camp.
What a terrible job.
But his name is Savage Sam. Like,
so fitting.
Hey, Savage Sam, can you hook up the computer? I got it. He's the IT guy.
Yeah.
For Jurassic Park.
Yeah. That's why he's only got the flashlight. He's the IT guy.
He's the IT guy for the hunters camp. Oh my god. He's the one that set up the radar and everything.
Tangent. We have gotten off.
This is a real tangent right here.
Just like eBay searching and a tangent on naming Kenner figures. It's ridiculous.
This one was all my fault because I asked about Lost World cards.
And I eBayed it, and so it's both of our faults. We can both take blame for this. I'm sorry, Brad. I apologize.
Yeah, sorry, Brad. Yeah, Brad's used to it now. He's like, you guys and your tangents. The fans love it too. They're like, are they gonna get a tangent today?
Yeah,
they're betting money.
Yeah, they are.
Now by this episode, they're like, let's see if they do.
Let's see how quick they get off subject.
Yeah. All right, next. Let's go to your next pick.
This is my next pick. This is good.
Where are we on? Like the fourth pick?
I think we're on number 4. Yeah, because I just did the Lost World magazine.
Next one would be 4 for me.
Yeah, so I just did the Lost World magazine. Then you did the cards. Mm-hmm. All right, now it's my pick. Okay, so number 4, and I'm sticking with the Lost World theme, and it's the very first action figure I got from the Lost World line, and it's Chaos Expert Ian Malcolm.
Yes.
And I loved this action figure, man. He was just like it was just something about it. And then you know how when you like how nostalgic things make you feel, and you can like remember like the way things smelled and like weather, and just like whenever it's about to rain outside in the springtime down here in Georgia, like it just reminds me of like having this figure and being outside and playing and like a storm coming through. And just like that smell, it just kind of reminds me of being outside and playing Jurassic Park, or the Lost World rather, with these. But he was the first one I got, and such a huge improvement, like just like the detail in his little T-Rex compared to Muldoon's T-Rex in Series 1 of Jurassic Park. And then his like neat little backpack launcher thing was so cool. And just like Jeff Goldblum with shades on. I mean, he's a stallion. He's such a cool figure. It's one of my favorites out of all of the Lost World action figure, the human line. He's my favorite, even above like the rare ones of, you know, Blue Shirt, Nick Van Owen, who's impossible to find, and Sarah Harding and Ajay and stuff like that.
Do you have him? The Nick Van Owen?
I do.
Yeah, he was pretty impossible.
I was fortunate enough, Bring Back Kenner Toys, he commissioned me to paint his Dilophosaurus, his original Kenner Dilophosaurus for him, and so he traded me Blue Shirt Nick Van Owen for a repaint. So it's a pretty even trade.
Just a figure, or like
just a figure. He was like, "Good luck finding all the gear for it."
Oh yeah, it's super impossible. Like I just have the figure. You can't even find the little Brachiosaur.
Yeah, which is such a cool little thing. You know, like I like the Brachiosaur. It kind of reminds me of Littlefoot from
it does.
Yeah. So yeah.
But yeah, no, that I was gonna ask you what variant you had of the Ian Malcolm figure.
I have both. I have one with the curly hair, like I guess it would be like the head sculpt from the first Jurassic Park, right? Is it the same one? It looks the same. And then there's the short-haired one, which I also have. So.
I have the short-haired one with sunglasses.
Yeah.
I have the one with the curly hair and sunglasses, and I have the one without sunglasses.
I did not know there was one without sunglasses.
Yeah, he's super.
Like the one they show in the back of the box?
Yep.
Because he looks like Charles Bronson in this picture. The one in the back of the box.
He does not look like Malcolm at all. Yeah, he looks weird.
Yeah.
But what I always found funny too is that you know Malcolm, he's like Jeff Goldblum. Yeah. He's like a tall dude. And like this figure, he's not that tall. I think he's actually shorter than the one from Jurassic Park. And like his cowboy boots.
I know.
You see, like he has like cowboy boots.
Yeah, he's got the cowboy boots on and his machete.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, he's rolling in.
Yeah, I loved this figure, man. Even though the backpack
was ready to take care of some business on that island.
With his smart missile.
Yes.
Yeah.
That book bag is so heavy on him; it makes him fall.
I had to make like little bases for most of these guys to stand up on because they're so like back heavy with their equipment, and so I have them on this little clay base that I made out of Super Sculpey. And I just
dude, I love that idea.
Yeah, it's so. I mean, it works great because it keeps them from falling off the shelf and then like shattering. And it's you just put their feet in some wet clay and then pull them out and then pop them in the oven and boom, you got a base. Him and the dinosaur both stand up on it, so it's nice.
Yeah, dude. The ideas you're coming up with, all that stuff, it's so freaking cool.
Yeah, I have nothing better to do than to just screw around with Jurassic Park stuff. Really, I have no life. I'm a married man with a child. Anyways, all right. So this brings us to your next pick. Your number 4.
My next pick. All right. My next one would staying with like kind of the, well, not actually, I talked about the cars before. So what I was talking about before was stationary stuff.
Yeah.
One thing that I really loved, and a lot of my picks, just so people know, it's not like a lot of them that I picked out is stuff that like I've never really heard mentioned before, but that I really loved as a kid or love now that I have, you know?
Yeah.
Because I mean, obviously, one of my favorite things ever in all of Jurassic Park merchandise, the Red Rex, but I was like, I've talked about it, and I'm doing a whole retrospective of the Red Rex, so I'm like, I'll leave that for that.
Yeah.
But another thing that I really loved was, do you remember the folders for the Lost World that you had in your Trapper Keeper?
Oh yeah.
Nobody knows that word now. They all know it as a
Trapper
binder.
Keepers, man.
Back in the day, Trapper Keepers. I had a Sonic the Hedgehog Trapper Keeper.
Yeah.
And all inside were all Lost World folders.
Yeah.
And they were all like neon and purple and crazy looking, and they had like Stan Winston statues, but they were like imposed on like early Photoshop or whatever,
Yeah.
and they had like skeletons, and oh man, they were so cool and so bright. Like,
Oh, the coloring in those things were awesome. Just the whole like marketing in general, the color with the marketing is just such an iconic thing. I mean, with the Lost World logo, but same goes for the like original Jurassic Park. Just like the bright neon-y colors. I mean, it's such an iconic thing, and I love that brightness, you know, and I miss that. I miss that these days. It's a lot of dark, drab stuff, but I'm old school.
Yeah, like they had the folders too for like Jurassic Park. I never got those, but I had the Lost World ones. But I always wanted that one where it has, you know, the iconic scene of the T-Rex on top of the car.
Yeah.
That folder looks awesome. I've seen it on eBay many times, and I've kind of skipped it here and there. But one day I'm just gonna be like, I don't care. I'm getting it. You know.
Should. It's just gonna get more and more expensive as the years go by. That's why I stock up when I can. I'm like, hey, my wife's like, why do you need more Jurassic Park stuff? I'm like, I'm just paying for our daughter's college in 18 years. I was like, it's investments. It's just investing.
That's what I used to say. And then I tell people, nah, all this is going with me the day I go.
Some adults buy stocks. I buy Jurassic Park action figures and dinosaurs. So let's just keep it real.
All right, so
this brings me on to my fifth and final pick.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm going to give you a little taste. Hopefully, it will cooperate for me, and maybe you'll be able to guess what my fifth and final pick is. Here we go.
Let's go. Ah, well.
Did you hear it?
Yes, I did.
Okay, cool. My fifth pick is the only T-Rex that I ever had out of the Jurassic Park and the Lost World
Let me
movies.
say it before you do.
Huh?
The bull T-Rex.
The bull, the Mac Daddy, the big guy. I always used the hand puppet from Pizza Hut, Land Before Time. What was that T-Rex's name? Scarface?
Stomper?
Huh?
Oh, the original.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before Time. It was like
There's a hand puppet of that?
Yeah, like I think Pizza Hut had a bunch of Land Before Time hand puppets, like rubber hand puppets of the characters.
I did not know that.
Yeah, you can find them on eBay. They're expensive, but they had a T-Rex one, and that was the T-Rex that I used because it looked the most like the bull, and I'd had that T-Rex puppet for years and years, and so that was the one that I used. And then one day, like I would always go into the store and I'd always see the bulls on display on the end caps and stuff, and I could never afford them. You know, I mean, I was a kid, so it's like, however, those were like $30 or something, $30 or $40 back then or whatever, and so. Like a year after The Lost World came out, I was in a thrift store near my house, found a bull T-Rex, and I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe that this is in here. And it was like $5 maybe or something like that in the bin, you know? And so that was my favorite T-Rex. Out of all of them, even though I know like the Thrasher, like everybody loves the Thrasher T-Rex because it looks so much like the T-Rex, and everybody loves Rexy. I never had those, so I have no like nostalgic connection to them, but the bull T-Rex, I have a definite connection to this because it was like once I got it, it was the main Rex. I mean, it was so cool. I mean, like, the size of it's awesome. It's got big goofy feet, but it's just an awesome dinosaur, and it can eat human beings, and it makes bone crunching sounds. How 90s is that, dude? That is so cool to me. I love this T-Rex. It's my favorite. I have two of them. So
Yeah, I have only one, and I remember trying to hunt down that one when I was a kid, and me and my mom would call different Toys R Us around New Jersey. Like we live in North Jersey, so we were calling all these different Toys R Us, and none of them had it. And it was like so difficult to find back then. And I remember there was this kid that had it in school, and I'd like think like, what if I give him like all this like all my lunch money or something, and I could buy it off of him. Like I would really like bring that to. I tell him to bring it to school. I'd be like, "Can you bring your T-Rex to school tomorrow?" Be like, "All right, fine." He didn't even care about it as much as I wanted that toy.
Yeah.
He just bring he like here, and I play with the T-Rex like the entire recess time, and like all my other friends were playing like sports and stuff. Like I don't know, they're kicking around the ball or baseball or something, and I'm there in like the dirt by a tree, playing with this T-Rex, and I didn't, whatever, I didn't care.
Yeah, man.
Doing my thing, but oh man, I loved that toy too. And then I finally got him like 6 years ago.
Yeah.
On an auction on eBay. I got him for like $14. Yep, there he is.
Bone crunching.
It's so awesome. He's like crunching. He's eating. That's so cool.
That's what I love about it, man. It's just such a cool T-Rex, you know. It just everything about it to me is just the glass eyes and like the color on him and everything. And I repainted one. I know, sacrilegious, but I repainted one. That was like all destroyed. I mean, it was in really rough shape. So it was missing the eyeballs and stuff like that, I think, or one eye.
The only time I feel like it's like sacrilegious is like it was let's say if it was a bull T-Rex in box.
Yeah. No,
that
I
like
do that.
never opened, and then a person opens it up and then repaints it or like customize it. Be like, oh, you mean I've seen what you do. You customize ones that are already like half destroyed, you know, and you bring them back to life. Yeah. So. I remember you telling me about you getting all those comments about the Red Rex.
Death threats over the Red Rex.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually have the Bull Rex. I have the Omega Rex, which is the Chaos Effect repaint.
Yeah.
With the orange. I love because I couldn't get the Bull Rex, so me and my mom ended like surprising me with the Omega Rex.
Yeah.
And it was like, she's like, I know it's not the one you exactly wanted, but it is the same kind of sculpt. And I told her about. I was like, oh, if I can't get that one, that I really want that one. She surprised me with it, and I love that one. So that one was in the place of the Bull Rex for a long time. And with your imagination as a kid, you just ignore all those bright colors and just like I would like superimpose in my mind the green colors on this Rex when I used to play.
Yeah.
And I also have the 2009. Retooling of the Bull Rex, which that was a Toys R Us exclusive.
Yeah, he's got the articulated legs, right?
Yeah. He's awesome, and he has like I think like 9 different sounds.
Ah, see, that's cool.
Yeah.
See, I knew it had different sounds and has the solid body, right? It's not hollow anymore.
It's like a solid body, and you know how the teeth were like hard plastic.
Yeah.
On this one, it's actually like soft plastic.
Oh.
It's a really cool Rex, and it took me a while to hunt this guy down and get him for a good price. It was reasonable because he is hard to find in like nice shape.
Yeah.
And for a reasonable price because he goes
pricey.
for like $200-$300 now. You know.
I remember seeing those on shelves too, like when I would go to the stores and stuff. Or
so did I. I at the time was not collecting as much as like I had the Jurassic Park collection, but like I wasn't really actively collecting. Yeah. I think I started my eBay account like 2008, and I bought a Tim Murphy in box, and that's where it started. And I remember I was with my ex-girlfriend at the time, and she was like, "Oh, you got it?" And I'm like, "Yeah." No. And she's like, "Are you gonna get more?" And I'm like, "I think I am." and then I showed her my collection for the first time. She's like, "Oh my, you really are a fan." And I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Oh, you're gonna probably like load up on more." I'm like, "Definitely."
Yeah.
And that's where I ended up getting a lot of stuff that was stolen from me, a lot of stuff that I didn't have, and a lot of stuff that like because back then you could get like boxes, just a lot of dinosaurs, and you find those sometimes. I don't know how you do that, but you find those for a reasonable.
It's just
price
lots. I mean,
right?
sometimes I'll pick up a lot you know, and I haven't done it in a while because I've got most of the stuff now. Now all I have left to collect is like all the rare, hard to find crap, and it's like super expensive. And you know, it's like for the Lost World line, I've got most of the dinosaurs for that, except for the rarer ones and like the little repaint of the Spitter and the Bone Crusher and like a few of the other ones. But I mean, it's like I'll eventually maybe get them, but you know, right now it's like you know, just I won't worry about it. They're expensive.
Yeah, they are. Like the Bone Crusher, I was able to find that one for a reasonable price. I think it was like $50 when I got them.
It's not bad.
But you have to, like, a lot of these dinosaurs, you gotta, like, you get them kind of like the same thing with the Nick Van Owen.
Yeah.
You get him, but you don't get their gear.
Yeah.
Like the Bone Crusher, he doesn't have his dino damage and he doesn't have his gear.
Yeah.
And whatever, I'm fine with it. You know what I mean? If I find it, cool. If I don't, oh well. I mean, I'm not one of those like crazy collectors that has to have every single piece.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of dinos and they're missing the dino damage and stuff like that, and it doesn't really bother me that much, you know. So it's
most of mine are out of box. I get asked that a lot. Like, are they in box or? I'm like, no, they're out of box because I actually played with them when I was a kid, and that's what I love about them more. The ones I'm getting now are more for just completing collection. Yeah. But you know what I mean?
Yeah, I've only got a few things in box. Like I got an Ellie in the box, and I've got what the heck is his name? I'm blanking on his name. Roland Timbo. God, there it is. Roland Timbo, the Packy, and then the Velociraptor from the Lost World. Those are the only things that I have in the box. Everything else is loose. Loose is fun. I mean, I got a kid. My kid comes down and plays with stuff, and that's why I have doubles of things, because I can keep the nicer ones on the shelf, and then the ones that have more scuff marks, she can play with them and make memories. So you know, it's
recently my good friend DC Villain that you've probably seen all the time on my Instagram. He got me an inbox and Malcolm.
Oh, nice.
Series 2 from Jurassic Park Kenner line.
Nice.
I was like ecstatic when I saw it. I was like, oh my god, I haven't seen this since 1990, like the end of 93, beginning of 94, because that's when the Series 2 came out. Yeah. And I'm like, wow, that's so cool.
But even holding like the Ellie, like I never had the Ellie growing up, and so the last time I had held the Series 1 Jurassic Park box was when I got my grant, and 25 something years ago. So I mean, it was kind of cool to see it again and like be able to look at it, because you can look at pictures online, but it's not the same when you hold it in your hands, and it's like like, oh my gosh, I remember being a kid. And I think that's why this stuff is very important to us. Is it's like it reminds us when we were kids and like stuff was cool, and like life was cool as a kid, and especially growing up in the 90s, one of the golden age of action figures, man. I mean, at least for us 90s
it really
kids,
was,
so.
Now right now I feel like it's the golden age of like collectors, statues and stuff like that. Yeah. It's like super expensive. Toys, not so much. Yeah. Actually, that was that was my last pick. The Malcolm
I totally
figure.
Forgot you had
I
one
got
more.
one in box. But yeah, that Malcolm figure. When I found out they made the Malcolm figure, that was awesome. And it's funny because like when I saw Jurassic Park, Alan Grant was my favorite character. Yeah. But when Lost World came out, I became a Malcolm fan, and I've been a Malcolm fan ever since. Yeah. Not saying I don't like Alan Grant, because people infer that I don't. No, I love Alan Grant. It's just Malcolm is my favorite, and Alan Grant comes right after him.
Yeah. Yeah, Malcolm's cool. He's a cool character. I like him. I can't wait to see what he's going to do in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom.
But one of my, like, I have to meet Jeff Goldblum at some point and have him, like, sign one of my stuff. Yeah. At one point.
Dude, could you imagine that? A Series 2 Ian Malcolm action figure in the box, signed by Jeff Goldblum?
Oh.
Dude.
If I go to California anytime within the next year, that I know he's always playing at this, like jazz place, I'm taking that figure with me. Yeah. And I'll wait out there in the rain, of course, covering, like, I don't care about myself, but I'll have something like covering the action figure. Wait out there in the rain for him to come out and just be like kind of like that scene in the Eminem Stan video where they're waiting out there for Eminem to come out. Yeah. Be like, he's like, please, could you sign this for me, Mr. Jeff Goldblum? He'd be like, oh, geez, well, you're out here in the rain? Security, this guy's out here in the rain. He's a psychopath. He's one of those Jurassic kids. So yeah, man, that was like my last one. It was such a cool figure. It comes with that really crazy DNA launcher, whatever the hell it is. I don't know what that.
Massive. He can't even hold it.
No, he can't.
It looks like a 12-inch GI Joe pistol. Like that's what it looks like. It's like Kenner was like, "What can we give him? He's a mathematician or whatever." And they're like, "Yeah, just give him this giant rocket launcher thing so he can kill this baby Gallimimus with it or whatever." It's like so absurd. I would have rather seen him with a flare, or some kind of flare launcher or something.
Yes,
dude. That would have been, I think, cooler to me.
I swear, like Kenner, their figures were great and their dinosaurs are great, but man, their weapons are way out of this world.
Oh yeah,
they belong in like the Aliens franchise. Yeah. I think they got the guys from Aliens franchise to be like to pick the weapons. They're like, all right, you guys take care of the dinosaurs and human sculpts. Guys that are working on Alien Predator, you guys create the guns. All right, we got this.
Well, it's like Grant's backpack launcher is just stupid heavy. Like it's so heavy, and then the little tabs on the bottom always like would break, and it's like, what are you gonna throw a net at a baby pteranodon? Come on.
The most like plausible one, or the one that I like the most out of all of them, that's like that feels it could be a real weapon that the guy could have, was a Muldoon in his rocket launcher.
Yeah,
his bazooka.
Yeah, like
that's the most plausible.
I get. Well, somebody had a bazooka in the novel, right?
It was Muldoon.
Okay, so that's probably where they got that from. Like I would have, like as an adult now, I would have been like, if I'm going to make a Robert Muldoon figure, I'm going to give him the Spaz shotgun because that's what he used in the movie. But I mean, I guess the big rocket launch. There was like rockets and gimmicks and stuff back then. Everything was all about spring-loaded missile launchers in the 90s. So everybody had a rocket launcher back then, But like a Dennis Nedry's water backpack, like as absurd as it is, like I get it because he was meant to fight the other water character in the line, the water spitter. So like tub time when you were a little kid and you have like your Nedry spraying water and the spitter spraying water. Like I get it. Like they were supposed to probably fight each other because they in the movie had an encounter. So like I get it. It's kind of goofy, but
So you said you have an honorable mention, and do you think we have time to see some of the comments that we have on Instagram?
Yeah, I think we do. Yeah, my honorable mention is only it's very simple. It's the Horizon Brachiosaurus that we talked about earlier that I painted, and you just recently.
And if you guys want to see what that guy looks like, just go onto Ted's page.
What's so cool? What I love about this thing is like, they never made one for the Kenner line, and that made me sad. Because it was like, that was the star.
That always bothered me too.
Yeah, the first big dinosaur we see, and it's like that big moment, and there's no big rubber Kenner Brachiosaurus. But then Horizon has this thing, and I think it's like, almost like the way I look at it is like, if you really wanted one that bad back in the 90s, you would get this, and you would build it and paint it yourself to like earn the right to be able to have this big dinosaur, like. And so I mean, it's been 25 years, and I've just now got, and it's not even original, it's a recast, but I just got it and painted it myself, and it's like seeing it up on the shelf with all the other Kenner dinosaurs is just so cool because it towers, or it dwarfs the Red Rex. It just makes her look so tiny, and it's just a great all-around sculpt. I mean, and relatively cheap. You can get them. I think it was like $60. I think is how much it cost. It was $30, and then $30 to ship it from Thailand to my house in Georgia, but. It's such a cool piece. I mean, just an awesome display piece, and like for photography, taking it outside, taking pictures with it, and just recreating that scene when it shows up, and everybody's in the Jeep, So I mean, that's my honorable mention is how cool this thing is, and like it completes that collection. It completes your dinosaur park or your Jurassic Park dinosaurs, and so I think it deserved an honorable mention in my favorite pieces that I own. So, but yeah.
Oh yeah, dude! It's a wonderful piece, and like I got one too now. I have it like in my art area where I'll be like working at some point. I can't work at it right now with all the stuff I've got going on.
Yeah,
because it's a piece that I want to take my time on. I just don't.
Yeah, you definitely.
I'm kind of glad I didn't get it when I was a kid. I probably would have messed it all up.
Well, especially with the recast, you have to do a lot of customizing. You have to do a lot of like reshaping it because and when it comes out of the mold and they ship it to you, I mean, sometimes the parts get warped, so you do have to kind of soak them in hot water and rebend them a little bit.
Yep.
But I mean,
there's a lot of work to it.
But you put a lot of love into it, and I feel like it means more to me that I put that much time and effort into building it and painting it. It's like it's a great piece, and I'll cherish it for forever. I mean, I won't ever sell this thing, I love it.
Oh, definitely, dude.
But yeah, so we can go to Instagram, read some comments.
All right.
I'm on the I'm on your post, so.
Yeah. So.
Stegosaurus Rex. Everything my human has. Cat smiley face. 3 cat smiley faces.
Yeah, because he's the protector of my collection.
Oh, that guy. That guy.
He loves passing out by the breakout Rex, which makes everybody nervous. But
that would make me nervous too.
Nah, he doesn't walk onto it
yet.
Nah, he won't.
Just wait. You're like, nah, he won't. In the background.
I have so much stuff on my shelves, and he's never climbed up anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
He kind of knows where he can be at and whatnot. So we got Emmanuel Pablo too. He says the toys, of course, in games. Just a couple of them. Jurassic Park Sega, Jurassic Park the
Operation Genesis.
Operation Genesis, yeah.
OG.
Of course, yeah, that's a great game.
Yeah.
Lost World Arcade, awesome. And now the next Jurassic World Evolution. I have high expectations with that last one. Yeah, dude, that trailer was great. We'll leave that for another episode though, because I think we could talk about that for a while. Yeah. But I think Aaron and Brad just posted something about it too.
Yeah, I saw that podcast come up. I'll have to listen to it.
All right, you want to read the next one?
Yeah, see, this person's, what's their name? Satan's Surfer? All right.
Okay.
They say Muldoon plus Baby Raptor. Also, my daughter loves them. Yeah, nice. Muldoon and the Baby Raptor. Series 2 Muldoon was pretty cool. Looked a little bit more like Bob Peck.
Yes.
They could have given him the spaz shotgun, but they didn't. They're like, here's another bazooka that he can't hold.
Yep. And they changed his suit color to like green.
Yeah.
If they would have put like Bob Peck's head on like that beige suit that he had before, it looked so much more like with the movie.
Yeah, that's a quick little custom. You could pop that off in some hot water.
Oh yeah, definitely.
What else?
Jurassic Jen said, well, she just loves Cheetosaurus Rex. And then I responded,
Jurassic Jen, cat face, face with hands, smiling.
It's like the face with hands, like the hug.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure what that was.
You read the next one since that's so right. Like Cheetosaurus Rex comments.
Cakes _ New York, I guess. Thrashing Head T-Rex toy. I guess the Thrasher T-Rex.
Yeah, probably the Thrasher. Yeah,
very
that's
cool dinosaur. I mean, it's right. I mean, next to the Bull T-Rex, I mean, the Thrasher is really cool. I like that dinosaur. I mean, it's except when it gets the wobbly, weak legs. But other than that, man, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool dinosaur. I like it.
Such a cool dinosaur. Yeah. The Great C-Word. JW Blu-ray gift set Rexine on Dominus. That's a pretty cool piece of merchandise. I have mine unopened, so I never really seen what the statues look like outside of the box.
Yeah.
But I seen like pictures, but never in front of me.
Yeah.
But
it's
a good set.
Derek, the JP collector, our fellow dealer, who provides us with awesome
our dude. Shout out to his company, Paradise Collect.
He says, too difficult to choose. I'll cop out and say all of the Jurassic Park counter toys, 1993 to 1999, really was the golden age. And it really was.
I completely agree.
It really was.
He's so right. DM _ Roosevelt says, my cat.
Your cat is more popular than this podcast, Jay.
He is pretty popular.
You need to get him on here one day. We need to have him on here. Just be like...
Oh, he's on here all the time. It's just you can't really hear him. You just hear his little bell as he walks around the microphone and knocks it over.
That's what I hear. Jurassic.cc says, the classic fossil VHS case, fantastic piece, fist bump. What are they talking about, the classic fossil VHS case?
There is a VHS case that's it's a hardcover case like you would get in like Blockbuster from the old days, or like the hardcover VHS cases.
Yeah.
And it's fossils on the outside. It's a rare case. I've seen it. I've never owned it myself, but this guy here, Jurassic CC, he has like every variation of the VHS, DVDs, Blu-rays. It's crazy. His collection, dude.
I'm looking at it right now.
Jurassic CC, dude, your collection is phenomenal. So, like, if you listen to the podcast,
right his post, wow, he's got a lot.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? And he does it like really professionally. He posts the Some of my posts, when I post something, you see everything. My background, my Dennis Nedry-esque desk. You know, he has the lighting and all that going on. And
Jurassic CC
but
is
yeah,
more
that's a cool
professional
case.
than Jaye and Ted, I can tell you that. It definitely looks good. Yeah. There's no like empty food wrappers in the background, like when you see me filming my repaints and I don't look and I go back to edit the video. I'm like, crap! Look at all the junk back there. Like I could clean up. I look like a ragamuffin. It's like look at this workstation. What a complete slob. Yeah.
The Raptor fence is all day.
All right, Lori EP 23. That cute
Good
orange
friend of
cat.
mine.
Your cat again. Your cat.
Everybody wants that
reply
piece
to
of
everybody and
merchandise.
say, we didn't ask you what you think of Jay's cat. All right. Anyways, just kidding. Victoria's Cantina. I love you, Victoria. I love your videos. Go check her out.
Good friend of ours.
Yeah. She says at JP Collector, amen. She agrees with Derek, of course.
Mm-hmm. I know she's a big fan of the Kenner line.
Yeah. She's the reason that I got.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, that's right. It's Twoon.
It's
Twoon.
T-Woon. I don't know.
T-Woon, I guess. The one Raptor, when it arrives in a few months, I'm thinking he's talking about the Chronicle Collectibles one.
A big old bust, the head.
Yeah,
that thing's cool looking.
It's too rich for my blood.
Yeah, I can't afford that.
I afforded the breakout, but that's it.
I can't even afford that. I have a kid. I have to feed her. The law requires me to, so. So I gotta feed my kid, keep her alive, buy a T-Rex.
Yeah, you can't feed her collectibles. I don't think that's a part of the kid's diet. You get the last one, dude.
William Hammett 87 says, I always liked the 90s Utah Raptor and black and red Carnotaurus. I never could find them, though. Yeah, I can never find the Carnotaurus. And when I do,
you have the Utah Raptor, though, right?
I do. He's missing the tip of his tail.
I don't have that Utah Raptor. I have the Lost World exclusive box set one with the darker color. I don't like the darker color on it. I love the one that you have.
I got that one for like $20, I think. But and what really sucked is the ad on eBay said that it worked, and then I got home and I put batteries in. I was all excited, and it goes wee. Like this really pitiful scream. I'm like, no, are you kidding me?
That's when you leave the feedback.
Yeah.
You horrible seller.
It's like when I got my my second Thrasher.
F. Instead of like A+.
Yeah, just F. So when I got the Thrasher and I opened it up and somebody, I guess they lived in an ashtray, I guess, and they rubbed the Thrasher in an ashtray before they sent it to me because that's what it smelled like. It was disgusting. So. But if you ever have some smelly cigarette smoke dinosaurs, Matthew Brando has a video on YouTube about cleaning them. So he's done a lot of.
He's cool, dude. Yeah. Shout out to him. Cool guy.
But that's it for the comments. So.
With the black and red Carnotaurus, which everybody like in the community nicknamed the Demon.
Yeah.
Because that's what it said on the box. He goes for crazy prices on eBay in box. I think the highest I've seen him is like at 500 like 600.
It's absurd.
I got him a while back too. He doesn't have his dino damage, but I do have his captured gear.
Oh, nice.
I got it in another lot of Jurassic Park toys I bought, and I'm like, wait a second, this is Demon's captured gear. Yes.
Yeah. Dude, I tell you, man.
Now to find that little. If a
company or somebody could figure out how to make replicas of the dino damage, like you could seriously make some bank, especially with people who are missing broken arms.
Rack up.
The Stegosaurus dino damage piece from the Lost World Stegosaurus. Oh my gosh, that thing is so hard. I've got like 5 or something of the Stegosaurus, and then only one has dino damage piece. And here's another one too. So I bought this Stegosaurus off of eBay, dirt cheap. And it had the dino damage piece. And I was super excited. And I got home, and it looked like a cat had chewed the dino damage piece. Like it was all chewed and gnarred up, like on the tip and everything like that. Because I was going to get it and try to make recasts of it.
Right.
And so, but now I can't because the recast would just show the cat chew marks, like some animal or a kid or something chewed it. Like
I could probably send you the dino damage piece. I have it.
Do you?
And you can recast or whatever, and you just send me back my piece afterwards.
Never.
Once you're done recasting.
Never. Yeah, I was gonna try to experiment with like some silicone stuff and like kind of pour a thing and see if I could cast it, because it's real weird. Like most of the other dino damage pieces, you can just press into clay or like make a silicone mold, like a flat one, and you can just press the dino damage piece into the clay and then pour resin, and you can make it that way because you don't have to worry about the back showing, and you can just try to color match it. But the Stegosaurus piece is so weird because it's so thin and it's shaped so oddly, you can't really like do that with it, so you have to make like an entire mold, I guess. I don't know. So
yeah, but yeah.
Whatever.
All right, so that was let me see. I don't know if I have any other ones.
I just checked and there's no more comments on the post on Instagram, I don't think.
I had like 2 comments on Twitter.
Oh, okay. I don't have Twitter. I'm not that cool yet.
Toys. On Twitter, Dave Leister says, "Toys has got to it. I guess had to be it. Let my child imagination loose. Favorite had to have been Bull T-Rex as a kid and Demo Carbon as an adult. I don't know what the Demo Carbon is, but
yeah,
I get the Bull T-Rex though comment. And like Ted talked about that earlier.
Yes.
And Arjun Boss, which he's doing a lot of those the little like mini like radio stories he's been doing lately for the podcast.
Yeah.
Extinction.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
Yeah, pretty cool. I'm actually part of one of them. I'm a control worker at one of his episodes.
Oh, nice. I've really been enjoying those. They're like, I wish they were like really
They're
long.
really cool, right?
Yeah.
They're written really well.
They really are. Yeah, the writing is
Yeah,
great.
he sent me like a mini script. I'm like, wow, it feels like I'm in a movie.
Yeah.
Cool. He put, sorry, simply the Blu-rays and statues. And then in parentheses, he put some. So I'm guessing some statues that like are really cool. Maybe like some of the Chronicle stuff coming out, or maybe like the stuff, or the model kits that we were talking about.
Yeah.
And the Blu-rays. Yeah, I enjoy the Blu-rays, but I don't know. I don't like that Blu-ray thing where it shows like a bunch of like previews and commercials for other movies in the beginning.
Yeah.
It's so annoying. I'm like, get me to my movie, please. Get me to my movie.
Yeah, I have a Xbox One and I have no Blu-ray movies. Like I've spent the past however many years, 15 to 20 years buying like DVDs and stuff. So now I have like hundreds of DVDs. So I'm like, I'm not going to go rebuy all that crap on Blu-rays. I'll just watch it like that.
I have basically the Blu-rays I have is Inception.
Yeah.
Dark Knight and all the Jurassic Park ones.
Yeah.
That's it.
I do have
I
Trolls.
don't really need any of the
I
other
have
ones.
Trolls on Blu-ray, so I get to listen to Can't Stop the Feeling by Justin Timberlake all the time when my daughter is home from school. That's fun.
Oh man. That's a must have.
Yeah.
All right, so I think that covers it.
Cool. That was a great episode. It was very productive.
Yeah,
good episode.
it was. We did go on our basic tangent, and we always do.
Hour and 26
but not
minutes.
as crazy. Yeah, it's a big episode.
Yeah.
We were gonna try to do like mini episodes every month, but it's like, I mean, we got a lot of stuff going on, so it's like a big episode like this would be really cool to just have just to throw into the podcast. I think Brad will be happy with it.
Yeah, he will.
And then our next one we'll be doing. What's the topic for our next one?
The next one is our top. We're doing another top 5, and we're doing our top 5 favorite moments in JP film. So all 4 of the films, I'm assuming, right? We can do all 4 films.
Mm-hmm.
All 4 films, yeah. And that's what our next topic will be on Jaye and Ted's Jurassic Adventure. So to make sure to tune in for that one, and we'll post a picture when we're about to record on Instagram. That way, you guys can let us know your top 5, and we can read them aloud. So.
Yep, and we can actually even put honorable mentions.
Yeah.
Video game.
Oh yeah.
Ones too, because you know how they have like little. Like most, the one that comes to everybody's mind, probably like Jurassic Park, the game, the one that came out not too long ago. But I'm saying even the video games like Sega, they had their own stories.
Yeah.
And there's some weird scenes in some of them there. It wouldn't be bad to mention either.
I'll have to go refresh on some of that stuff. It's been a long time since I've played any of the games.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's it for this episode. So before Ted leads us out in the episode, where can we find you, Ted?
You can find me on Instagram at Ted Brothers and on YouTube with the same name, Ted Brothers. I do lots of repaints, time-lapse repaint videos. And I've just been getting into doing some reviews of the Rebor models, so that'll be fun. So yeah, go check me out there on Instagram and YouTube. Come and say hey. See my face. Yeah.
Yeah, check out the Ted stuff, man. It's got a lot of cool things going on. You can find me on Instagram at JayJurassic, JAYE_JURASSICK, same name on Twitter. And in time, I'm working on a YouTube page myself. Working on the intro. It's going to be, well, with everybody's favorite merchandise item, I guess, today with Cheetos. And Ted was the one that gave me the idea. Yes. We're not going to say it here, but Ted gave me the idea for this, so
I get 75% royalties of all revenue you make on YouTube. My lawyer will be contacting you soon. I was thinking, I need a cool Jurassic name. Like mine, it's just so plain, like Ted Brothers. Like, and I was like, you have like Jay Jurassic, and like there's Jurassic Jen, and like all these people have cool names. And I was like, what can I do to make my cool handle, or my handle even cooler? And I was like, I wonder if I put a P at the beginning of my name, Ted, like in Pterodactyl or Pteranodon, like a silent P.
Yes,
that would look cool.
Do it.
Ted. I don't know.
That'd be cool.
Random thoughts.
Or you can go with Savage Sam.
I could do Savage Sam. I could.
It goes nothing with your name, but dude, we have to make the action figure now.
I will.
We have to. With like a card back. Yo, you make the figure, I'll sculpt the hatchling.
It's perfect. And we'll sell it on eBay.
There we go. Yep. Savage Sam
make
exclusive.
Tens and tens of dollars off it. Awesome.
Actually, probably like $5, but
plus $50 shipping.
$50 shipping. Have you seen that? Like when it's like the item is like $1 and the shipping is like $100.
I saw Red Rex yesterday and it was like $10, and I was like, ooh! And I clicked on it, it was like $50-something shipping. I'm like, whatever. Come on, don't play me like
There's
that.
no way. There's no way. Where do you live? Like Eastern Island with like all those like statues and stuff where there's like nobody living there?
It's ridiculous. You're killing me, Smalls. Yeah. All right.
All right, dude. Lead us out from the episode.
Well, guys, we really appreciate you joining us today. And always remember, if you step aside and trust in nostalgia, a podcast will find a way. Nailed it!
Awesome.
I got it that time.
Yes! Perfect. All right, dude. All right, Jurassic fans. We'll see you on the next one.
Make sure to visit JurassicParkPodcast.com to find all our past episodes, brand new news articles, information on how to contact us, and much more. It's a great source for everything related to the podcast, and of course, Jurassic Park and Jurassic World. Head to JurassicParkPodcast.com and help us build a great community.
Anybody hear that?
Thanks for listening to the 113th episode of the Jurassic Park Podcast. Of course, a big thanks to Jay and Ted for another great edition of their segment. This is the exact reason why I love producing this podcast so much, having great fans discuss their favorite movies and everything about them. Thanks again, guys. And for everybody else, don't forget that this is your podcast too. So if you have any ideas or want to create your own segment, send us a message and we'll work with you to produce something fun for fellow fans to enjoy. If you want to interact with us, we do most of our work over on Twitter at Jurassic Park Pod. We're also on Facebook at facebook.com/Jurassic Park Podcast, and our Instagram handle is at Jurassic Park Podcast. You can listen to us via iTunes, Google Play, Podomatic, YouTube, our website, or wherever else podcasts are found. So make sure to subscribe to automatically get new episodes every week. If you haven't already, please give us a 5-star review on iTunes or a great review wherever you listen to the podcast. It will seriously help out our rankings and make it easier for fans like you to find us. We're usually spotted commenting on the Jurassic Park subreddit as Jurassic Park Podcast. Don't forget to check out JurassicParkPodcast.com for all the links you heard here today. If you want to get a hold of us, you can email us with any news stories, MP3s, comments, or, like I said before, if you want to debut a segment of your own, send them to JurassicParkPod@gmail.com. Or you can submit questions directly on our website contact form. If you'd like to record something for the show, send it in to us and we'll feature it in an upcoming episode. If you don't have any way to record, you can give our voicemail line a call and leave us a message. That number is 732-825-7763. Thanks for listening and enjoy.
No, I'm simply saying that life finds a way.
$5 minutes. Drop what you're doing and leave now.